The relationship between the Quarian and the Geth is one of the main through lines of the Mass Effect series, an analogue for the broader theme of AI servitude and sapience. By the time the events of the first Mass Effect take place, the Quarian are a downbeat, nomadic people living aboard a flotilla of ships, and the Geth threaten to wipe out life in the galaxy. On this week's episode of Mass Effect Lore, let's start with the Quarian, or as they're known to the Geth, the Creators, and how they ended up fighting for survival against the very things they created. For more videos like this one and coverage of the upcoming Mass Effect Legendary Edition, make sure to like this video and subscribe. The Quarian home planet of Rannoch is an arid desert in the Milky Way. Due to its dry nature and lack of insects, growing and cultivating food was difficult, but the whole planet wasn't completely barren. The southern continent had excellent farmland. The Quarian are a technologically advanced race and used their knowledge to create the Geth, a subservient labor force designed to help. In fact, Geth translates to servant of the people in the Quarian language of Kelish. The Citadel Council had strict rules prohibiting the creation of artificial intelligence, so the Geth were initially designed as a virtual intelligence, but the Quarian discovered that the Geth they'd made weren't all that clever. Over time, they tinkered with the Geth and began to network them together, which enabled them to do more and more complex tasks. While Geth can't share sensory information, they can communicate with each other at the speed of light and share their processing power, shifting it to where it's needed. With a collective conscience of sorts, over time they began to gain intelligence at a rapid rate and were eventually capable of logic and reason. The Geth had evolved. One day a Geth asked its overseer an innocent but profound question. Does this unit have a soul? Terrified at the implications of the question and perhaps the answer to it, the Quarians ordered immediate termination of the Geth, not just the unit who asked the question, all of them. But it was too late. In the beginning, only some Geth retaliated, merely to defend those units who were unable to fight for themselves, but the Quarians doggedly chased them down, even going so far as to declare martial law, as well as imprison and kill their own who were hiding Geth. By 1895, the two races were engaged in all-out war, known throughout the galaxy as the Geth War, but to the Geth as the Morning War. Because of the shared network, Geth don't really die. Instead, when one is terminated, its program is merely transmitted elsewhere. As a result, the Geth were victorious within a year, killing over 99% of the pre-war Quarian population. The Quarian who were left fled the planet, taking to space aboard their ships. While the Geth didn't follow the Quarians to space, their troubles did. Believing that the Citadel Council would grant them aid, the Quarians pleaded for help, only to be cast out and have their embassy aboard the Citadel closed. The reaction from the Council seemed over the top, but the Quarians had broken one of the Council's strictest laws: don't interfere with or create artificial intelligence. Their doom was of their own making, and now they were left to reckon with it on their own, in the deep, dark depths of space. Life aboard the flotilla or migrant fleet is far from easy. With no homeland or council help, resources are extremely scarce, and the Quarians had to adapt to ensure the survival of their species. The Quarians have a weakened immune system, caused by their harsh homeland and then exacerbated by years spent aboard sterile spaceships, so they each wear a special suit to shield them from the outside world, their envirosuit. The suit protects them from infections that might otherwise kill them, and if it gets ripped, its automatic seal compensates to mitigate the spread of infection. Despite receiving vaccinations against various diseases throughout their lives, Quarians are typically unwilling to remove their suits, and if they do, must undertake extreme precautions first. Which makes having relations difficult. In fact, linking envirosuits with another is one of the most intimate things a Quarian can do, as it carries huge risks even in sterile environments. But it's not like the Quarians are getting down with it all the time either. There's actually a law prohibiting having more than one child unless the population is in decline. Quarian society is built upon securing the continuation of their species. They work together as a community more frequently than other Mass Effect races, with young Quarians undertaking a pilgrimage when they come of age, in order to expand their horizons, but also to prove their worth to the fleet by bringing back something useful, like technology, information, or resources. In order to prevent inbreeding, upon their return from their pilgrimage, newly anointed adult Quarians choose a brand new ship in the flotilla to live and settle down on, presenting their new captain with whatever they picked up on their travels. The Quarians don't use credits, the regular currency used throughout the galaxy, instead valuing food, medicine, and technology. They keep a close eye on food and medicine to ensure that there's enough to go around, but they are freer with personal items. With limited space aboard the flotilla and a lack of attachment to things, the Quarian donate what they don't want or need, and others take it to use, so nothing goes to waste. The Quarians have a civilian government called the Conclave that makes the majority of decisions for the fleet, and there is an Admiralty Board that oversees them. In the most serious situations, the Admiralty Board can overturn a government decision, but once they've done so, they must either all quit their posts or face being arrested. As the fleet is still technically under martial law from the Geth War, most issues never even make it to the Conclave and are handled by the ship's captain instead. Due to a lack of space aboard the flotilla's ships, the worst criminals in society are exiled, because why waste resources on those who aren't contributing? But that's just one of the many reasons the rest of the galaxy is untrusting of the Quarians. After creating the Geth, exiling their worst prisoners, as well as their habit of moving through systems to scavenge and mine whatever they can, they're often seen as second-class citizens and thieves. But the Quarians didn't want to be a burden on the rest of their galaxy, they dreamt of retaking their homeworlds. But the Quarian homeworlds weren't exactly fully populated by the Geth after their rebellion. Instead of building a civilization upon Rannoch, the Geth chose to live in computer hubs aboard spaceships, monitoring the extranet for any information they could use and opening fire upon any ships that came near them. While the Geth kept tabs on the rest of the galaxy, they preferred to advance their own race alone, away from any interference. They did, however, keep Rannoch clean of debris out of respect and as a memorial to the creators that were killed there. They spent their time working on creating a mainframe that could house the programs of every single Geth unit, a goal that they'd been working towards for a couple of hundred years. However, the Reaper Sovereign approached the Geth and offered them advanced technology that they could use in turn for their assistance. Only a few took up Sovereign's offer to serve and were then called heretics by the remaining Geth, who wanted to create their project with their own technology and were suspicious of the Reapers, calling them the Old Machines. The Reapers, despite obtaining a new workforce, were repulsed by the devotion shown by the Geth, who praised the Reapers as being the pinnacle of AI evolution. These Geth left the main Geth network, and followed Sovereign and his right-hand man, Saren, across the galaxy, which is where we meet them at the start of the first Mass Effect game. If you're picking up Mass Effect for the first time with the Legendary Edition, or you're just revisiting it after a few years away, hopefully this video has helped you understand the Quarian-Geth conflict better. We've got more lore videos up on the channel right now, including ones on the Krogan and the Genophage, as well as the Protheans. And for more Mass Effect, make sure to subscribe. We'll catch you next time.